Hi guys, before we get started, I'd just like to remind you that if you liked this video, please thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. Feel free to subscribe. There's a notification button somewhere as well. You got to click. So click the red subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is a continuation of the one game a month video that I've been working on. So I hope you enjoy this one. And I have no idea what's happening in this video because this is just a default bumper. But all will be revealed after the fade.
I have to say, other than the fact I have to wear this giant headset, the noise cancelling on this is pretty damned good. Because I'm looking at the view meter in OBS Studio, and other than the fact that my whiskers there, I'm going to bring that up there. There you go. That's really really good. Like it goes down to it goes down to like minus 40 or something. Anyway, just want to point out, not Timmy's today. And also I screwed up my order. Uh, okay, well, so uh, I asked for, I went up to the drive-in and I asked for a regular, a medium coffee. Okay, so I asked for a medium coffee black. That's how I like my coffee. I like my coffee black because I have one of these things filled in. And he said a large regular. I went, no, a medium black. And he went, okay. And it didn't come up on the screen because normally it comes up on the screen. And I'm like, all right, okay. He goes, okay, you move forward to the first window. So I handed over my card. And he goes, that was a large coffee, so that'll be 25 cents. And I'm like, I didn't ask for it. Okay, it's fine. Reached in my pocket, gave him the 25 cents. Thought nothing about it. So I come home, and what I have here, I don't know if you can see this, that that's not black. That's that's a regular coffee. It's a large regular coffee. Now, I didn't ask for a large regular coffee. I asked for a large black coffee. Actually, I asked for a medium black coffee to start with. Then I thought I was getting a large black coffee because the guy got my order wrong. And then it turns out I've got a large regular coffee. I, I, I'm gonna have to drink it anyway. Waste not, want not, but let's get sugar in it. I'm suffering for my art. There, I said it. All right. Um, so I tried a couple of things last night, and if I go to scenes, testing, camera scroll, um, I'm not entirely happy with the way, like this thing here is really annoying me. When I brought the blocks in, I thought that the blocks seem to be working, um, but the collision's all wrong. That's why the collision's all wrong. That's why it didn't work. So, okay, so what happened after I turned the video off last night was, I'll put it back onto here so you can see what I'm talking about. Uh, I, I saw this and I'm like, and the blocks are all wrong. Actually, all the blocks are wrong because they're all weird. Those aren't. Yeah, those are just weird. Uh, and it turns out that the Frankenstein block, these ones here, the reason why they're all like that is because the collision detection is all off. So that's the block there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not have how can I get that down to the size? Because currently the size is 1 by 1, and I want the size to be whatever the size is. I wonder if I know the size. Like, can I figure it out from the sprite? Because I need to resize it. Because if I zoom in here, that's the size of the block. But if I change that to one of the Frankenstein blocks, you'll see that it's inside there, and that's why it's not working, which is also why it's not working. Okay. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense for the other thing, but it makes sense for here. Okay, so I need to make that, instead of size there, that's going to be 0.5, 0.5. And if I click on apply, then that's gonna work. There you go. So it's just gonna work just now, and that's okay. Um, the other thing I want to do is Guy, protagonist Guy. Hey buddy, I'm not your guy. Hey guy, I'm not your buddy. I don't want a circle collider. Remove component. I want an um, um, fill. What's it called? Capsule collider. That's the one. I want a capsule collider so that um, vertical is right. I don't know why it's not showing. Hmm. But I'm hoping it's going to be a bit smoother. Yeah, he still trundles. Does that kind of little hoppy, skippy thing, which kind of is annoying. And the other thing I did was I looked on. I'll just bring up this here. Um, I should probably tweet this out as well. Well, this is happening. Um, tweet deck. Um, I'm live on Twitch for game, not just for a little bit, maybe a couple of hours, and I'll paste that there, and I'll tweet that there, and then I will retweet there. Okay. All right. So that is me live. There's currently me watching, and that's it. Hello, me. Um, okay, the other thing I did was the locomotion script. I changed this here, so um, it's from the creating a basic platformer game. So um, it maintains. So when the horizontal speed becomes too much, um, greater than the max velocity, then we're going to clamp the horizontal speed. Uh, and so that's what this bit does, is it clamps the horizontal speed to that, and it keeps the y speed. So that's what that bit is doing there, and it makes it the math is a lot easier to understand. I mean, it's a beautifully made cup of coffee, but still, it's the wrong cup of coffee. So that's what I did as well. And then I had to play around with some tile sets because I thought I could maybe get some tile sets in here, but it's just it's just not feeling it, I'm afraid. Um, I also need to submit my changes from yesterday um, onto the website, GitHub. So level map, okay, that's all going to go there. And also, I tried another couple of assets from um, GitHub, not GitHub. What's it called? Open Game Art. Open Game Art. Open Game Art. I looked in here for some things. I think I might still have a look in here because let's see if we can find something in here. A blocky dungeon. Sounds quite good. Lots of free. So I want 2D art and what's CC by 4.0? What does that give us? International CC 4x4. Share, copy and redistribute the media for any material. Adapt. Okay. Under the following terms, attribution must give appropriate credit. Okay. What is that one? Share like. Under the following terms, share like if you must distribute contributions under the same license as the original. Okay. Well, let's not go for that one. Let's go for what's this one here? 3 unported. Share, adapt under the following. No additional restrictions may not apply legal terms. Okay, so let's check that one, and that one, and that one. CCO, I think, is open. It's that you're free to do anything you want. No copyright. There you go. So maybe we just want those ones there. So let's do a search for that. Whoa, what is that? What? Whoa, okay. Lots of 2D tiles. Okay, these look really good. These can't be. These are free? Huh. Okay, I mean that's fine. But what I want to do today though is I want to get the shooting in. Um, that's really what I want to do. Um, so I don't mind about the blocks. I just want to get the mechanics in. So um, let's have, where's the locomotion script? Locomotion ground probe. So the ground probe, again, I was looking at the example that Unity gives, and they give a better one. They actually do a raycast down. It's fine. I think my one sphere is not going to kill the bank, but I do want to have a C# script here, and this is going to be called gun. Let's call it player gun. Yeah, let's call it player gun. Actually, hang a sec. How do I do this again? 1 second. And we're back. I think we're back. Yeah, I think we're back. All right, so player gun. So I need a public transform. Um, and this is gonna be point, whatever that is, and public game object. Bullet prefab, and then I want a game object pool equals new game object pool max pool size, and what do I want for the max game size? Excuse me. Const int max pool size equals 10. So we'll make it 10 size there, and then we'll do const float cooldown period. And the cooldown period is going to be 1 second. Might make that variable. We might make it a variable, might not, because maybe we'll give you a more powerful weapon. Right, okay, and we're going to do start. And this is going to be while true if input dot get button down fire 2. So if you press the second fire button, which is that one, and actually I want to say bool cooling down equals false if cooling down actually no, I don't need to do that. So if the button is down, what I want to do is I want to do start coroutine. Actually, just spawn bullet. Spawn bullet and yield return. You wait for seconds. Cooldown period. So that waits for the cooldown period. Otherwise, don't return anything, just return null. So the spawn bullet there is void spawn bullet. So this is gonna, as soon as you start the game, it's gonna continue for as long as the game's running. If the fire button's down, we're gonna spawn a bullet, and then we're gonna wait for a certain cooldown period, and then that's gonna allow us to go back down into here. So even if you press, that's just gonna not make anything else run in here, which is so this is another reason why you have, pardon me, separate objects, separate scripts doing things, is that we're not mixing in anything like locomotion-y, because all the motion stuff is handled in here, which is 60 odd lines. And all the shooty stuff is handled in here. So that's the reason for doing that kind of stuff. Okay, so spawn bullet. So our bullet, our var direction equals input dot get. Actually, maybe we want to have void update, and we'll have last direction Because, by the way, if you're wondering why I put underscore in front of certain things and not underscore in certain other things, it's just that I'm forgetting to put underscore in front of certain things. Like these public ones, they're public. I don't need to put underscores, but the private things, I'm trying to put in underscores, just so that I know looking at it that this is a member level field. That's all. It's just a convention. I saw it on a Microsoft website and I thought it was a cool way of doing things. Right, so last direction equals mathf.sign input.get axis horizontal. If last direction, actually that would be var temp equals that. If temp absolute TMP is greater than float.epsilon, then I want to say last direction equals math f dot sign TMP, else last direction equals 1. So what the heck does all that do? Well, we'll come back to just a sec after I remember to put this in here. Float that last direction equals -1. Equals 1, sorry. All right, so I'm going to go grab the horizontal axis. So whatever direction they're facing is the direction we're going to fire. I check to see if it's greater than epsilon, and if it is, epsilon is just a very, very small value. You can see when you hover over it, it's like e to the -45. So it's basically saying if it's some kind of direction, then the last direction is going to be whatever the sign is. So if it's negative, it's going to be in the left direction. If it's right, it's going to be the positive direction. And I don't want that one. Okay, and now the spawn bullet is going to be, oh, we need to fill these in here. Void, awake. So this is going to be filling the pool. So fill pool. Void, fill pool. Equals 0, I less than max pool size, I plus plus. And this is going to be pool I, oops, I equals, and it is going to be instantiate bullet prefab pool I dot set active false. And that's it. That's all we need to do for pool, because we want to instantiate a copy of the bullet, and we want to do that now. What that means though is that there's only ever going to be 10 bullets at a time, which is good because by the time we fire the bullet out, you know, we're not going to do a rapid fire thing here. That clicks. You do that. Okay. So if the fire's there, spawn bullet. So we want to have int index equals 0. So now I want to say, actually what we can have here is rigid body 2D is that. And then we can do get component rigid body 2D. So we need to make sure our bullet has a rigid body on it, and then we do that dot game object dot set active. Okay, because we don't want the bullet to do any damage, and well, we do want it to do damage. We just don't want it to do damage right now. Okay, and now we're gonna have where are we? Let's go for create empty, and we'll call this one bullet, and we'll add a rigid body 2D, and we'll add a collider collider 2D, and so right now it's nothing, but I'm going to add create 2D object sprite, and this is going to be bullet body, and the sprite for that is going to be, I don't know, yeah, let's just do Frankenstein block that, and I'm going to scale it 0.5, 0.25. There you go, 0.25 on there, and yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so that's our bullet, and we need to make the collision one, of course. So that's going to be 0.25 and 0.5. Okay, so that's the size of a bullet. Okay, and guy, he gets another script. Player gun, and we'll give him the bullet prefab for that, and we'll also give him guy as the transform. So the bullet's going to come out from his chest just now, which is fine. So spawn bullet, that's going to say pool index dot position equals, and then this is going to be point dot position pool index dot add force, and we're going to add a new vector 2, and we're going to have to specify the speed of this, but for now we'll make it 16 and 0 on the y times, and then it's going to be last direction, so whatever direction they're going. Pool index dot game object dot set active true. So I'm going to make sure it's active. Actually, probably have to make it active before we add the force. And then we're going to do index plus plus index is equal to max pool size. So we're going to start reusing the bullets. Whew. Okay. Will this work? And the next thing is, do I have a bullet layer here? No. Add layer, player bullet. So players won't get hit by the player bullet. That's a rule that we're going to do here. So player bullet is that one there. Yes, change children. And then we need to go to project settings, physics 2D, and we need to make sure that player bullet does not interact with player, but it will interact with platforms, not background, and not player bullet. We don't want player bullet to interact with player bullet either. So that should all work. And now, well, it's Hmm. So we have bullets. They're just not doing anything. So we don't want them to react to gravity. So we're going to freeze the position on the Y axis. Um, so let's do that. Gravity scale. Um, what are we going to do? I don't want. Let's try 0. See if that changes it. Yeah, that's not working. Oh, we also need to change it to impulse as well. That's another thing. Impulse. Warp speed, Mr. Sulu. And the position. Set active. Is it because the first one is right? Oh yeah, the first one's right bang slap in the center. That's why. So if I make the position of that way over here just now, I should stop that from appearing. Okay. So, guy transform. Okay. Bullet opposition equals point opposition. Okay. Set position and rotation. Position returning dot identity. Maybe that's better to do it that way. Answers on a postcard to Unity. Okay. No, that's not working at all. Let me see where that's getting. Sorry, I can't share my screen here. Oh, he's fallen. I've been having problems with this ever since I started this project, and I don't know what the issue is, but none of this stuff works. The set position, um, it just does not want to set the position. So if I set the breakpoint there, attach to Unity, I mean I can see that it's spawning the bullet, but it's not even adding the rigid body to it. Maybe if we do that at the like a start or something. I don't know. Maybe we need to add something to there. Okay, so the transform is currently set to minus whatever heck that is, and then transform position minus. So it has moved it. Point and then position. So it has moved it to the same position. Add force. It's not me, is it? Why is this? Dope. Sorry. I think you have to put all my slurping noises because I keep screwing up um, the mute. Okay, so I get a copy of that. I set it to be active. I set the position and rotation. And then I add the force, which is constraining the rigid body to Y. So it's whatever the position is. So what is the scene? Okay, so there's the scene there. Right, so guy's falling, that's fine. So if I shoot, where's this guy? Why is he all the way down there? Minus what? What is that? Do you know what I bet it is? I bet it's because it's hitting inside that body. Let me just add create empty and then no, let's not bother doing that. I bet it's hitting inside there and then it's let me say it's a trigger and let's just see something. Nope, minus 255. Why is it minus 255? Let's bring it up to 0. Minus 2. I'm having more problems with Physics 2D than I am anything else. This game should be easier to take shape than it is. I should just have used discrete movements. Been easier. Okay, set position. So that is what? That's why. Because that guy is not the guy that gets it. Okay, well, who had 25 minutes before I figured out what was going wrong? All right. Um, what I need to do is the transform point I need to set up in the game controller. So this is the player prefab here. So I need to do inside guy. I'm going to delete that and instead I'm going to have to create a game object here. So create empty, and then this is going to be gun barrel for lack of a better word. And then in here, this is going to be gun barrel here. And unassigned. The preference bullet of player gun has not been assigned. Okay. And that's because it can't be. Let's do apply. And then the bullet prefab. Player gun. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that's player prefab, and it's gonna be public object bullet prefab. Main players bullet prefab, and then I'm gonna have to do our gun equals copy.get component player gun dot bullet prefab equals bullet prefab. And that can go there. Okay, and then the prefabs, they can all go in here. Bullet can go in there, and that can get deleted, and that can get applied and then deleted. Okay, and no. Bullet prefab has still not been. Oh, because. So that bullet prefab is going to be in here. So that's going to be while equals null, yield return null. So wait until it's been assigned, and then once it's been assigned, we want to fill the pool. So we don't want that there. We want one there. And then the spawn bullet, I think we can do this in reverse. So we don't need that one. We do need that. We do need that. Okay. And I think that's everything. It should be used. Yeah. Why is it saying that's not used? Yeah, rubbish. It is being used. It's being used all the time. It's not working at all now. That's good. Player gun. So it's not been assigned. So that is on the game controller. Oh, because bullet prefab has not been assigned. Game controller, bullet prefab has not been assigned. So if I assign that to there, then we should have. Yay. There we go. And hold the button down, and you'll see that eventually. Oh, that didn't work. some weirdness. Okay, let's get rid of these. We're gonna get the sign of that. Actually, I wonder if, let me see here, Unity math sign. I wonder if you do 0, positive or 0. Ugh. Um, um, hmm. Actually, let's just hack it in here. What we can say is TMP equals that. If TMP is greater than 0, last direction equals 1F. Else if TMP is less than 0, last direction equals minus 1F. And that'll work. Again, we're using the rules of Game Jam here, so this is not production code. This is just for fun code. Okay, there we go. So if I stand still, it will fire in whatever direction I went last time. So stand there, and then I move slightly to that way, and it'll fire. Does it fire faster that way? No, it doesn't. That seemed to fire faster. Mm. There's still some weirdness going on. Maybe I want to have that as just this in here. Maybe I don't want this in the update. Maybe I want this in here in the spawn bullet part. Get rid of that. Now we're just trying to be too clever. And the idea is that we'll be able to reuse the bullets. And we can even vary the actual amount of bullets that come out of the gun. Okay, so I'm changing direction and it is still firing. Okay, that's fine. I can jump as well. No. No, that's not right. Um, else, let me just key this in. Last direction equals 1. So whatever direction we're firing in, let's make sure it's at least firing, because it shouldn't be stopping. You shouldn't be able to stop a bullet. Okay. No. Do you know what I think it is? Actually, it is not that. I think the problem is pull index dot velocity equals vector 2.0. I think the problem is that it is it's when you get to a certain point. So reset. Is there a reset? Clear. Force. Let's see if there's methods in here. Add force, add torque, distance, blah 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 blah. Is touching, is sleeping, is awake. What does sleep do? Make the rigid body sleep. Sleep. I think setting velocity to 0 will fix it. Because I think the problem is, all right, here's what I think the problem is, and it's good enough scientific experiments for me. So if we have a pool of objects and we fire the 10 objects in that direction, and then we fire 10 objects in that direction, all the bullets will end up with speed 0 because they basically cancel, the forces cancel each other out. And so we'll just set the position, but the force is, the bullets are still moving that way. So we basically need to like flip them around. And I think that's what's causing the problem rather than the direction thing. That's what I'm thinking anyway. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and then we flip around here, and then we get the bullets going in this direction as well, and then we flip around here. All right, perfect. I think that's good. Although I don't particularly like the fact that you, well, maybe you don't want to jump and run at the same time. Maybe you want to make it X. Actually, maybe X is a better one to fire. I'm going to swap it out and put X. Not sure what that fire button is though. Unity Xbox 360 controller. I'm getting that I'm slowly coming around to the fact that I'm building Broforce. Okay, so the X button is 2. Okay, I'm going to make X button. I'm going to make it 2. Edit. No. Project settings input. Axes. Fire. What's fire 3? Fire 2. Fire. All right, we have some momentum here. Let's not ruin it. Okay, so fire 3. What is fire 3? Fire 3 is joystick button 2. Okay, so I want fire 3. Fired. I want fire 3. Okay. do. Okay. Fired. That feels more natural. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to have maximum pool size. I'm going to say is going to be 50 objects, and then I'm going to have public int current pool size, and do I want current pool size? No. Max pool size is that 50. The cooldown period though I do want to change, so I'm going to say these are private. Tooltip. Actually, that's going to be hide in inspector. So I don't want to know what that is because that's getting set in code. No, it's not. It's not getting set in code. Tooltip. The bullet prefab is. Point at which bullets are spawned. Hide in inspector, and then I want to have header parameters, header objects, public float cooldown period equals, and then we'll make this 0.75 seconds. Tooltip. Okay. And we can specify the bullet type. So on the Frankenstein level, you probably don't have a gun, so we need to remove the gun somehow. And for the werewolf one, it's going to be silver bullets, and for the vampire one, it's going to be that. It's the same thing, but it's just changing it up a bit. Should do that way. Again, not sponsored, but if you want to throw a couple of shekels my way, that'd be fine. Either you or Timmy's, I don't mind. Right. So pew 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 pew. So those bullets just continue on ad nauseum. But it means though that where's Guy? Guy, you my guy, buddy? No, buddy, you're not my guy. I'll make that 0.5. It's still 1 second because I never changed this around here. So let's get rid of that. And let's change cooldown period to that. So now it is half a second. And I'm going to change that to apply. And delete that. Okay. And now okay. Really need to figure out something for these blocks. Yeah, definitely need to figure something out for the blocks to make it interesting. The other thing I'd like to try though is using Unity's tile maps. Maybe we can do something with the Unity tile map as well. So, and also, I don't know if you noticed, but if I move the project in here, you'll see that when I create a bullet, nothing gets actually created. When I actually fire a bullet, you see that nothing actually gets created because all we're doing is we're reusing it. So that's a good way of keeping down your memory as well. You can say, okay, you're only ever going to have, I mean, 50 bullets is probably overkill, unless you're doing something like maybe you, let me bring this back down again. Maybe you have, you want to make it into like a submachine gun or something. So you want to change that to the cooldown period to be 1. So now, when you fire the weapon, you see it goes like this, and it's like a rope. Um, and you can see that there. It's kind of cool. So that's your kind of a quick fire mode, which means that we can change that. So you could have a power up, for example, and change that value. So I'm going to change that back to 0.5 because I think that's a good good thing to have there. So we can pick up power ups. Okay, I'm going to, what am I going to do now? Let me see what I've changed here. Okay, all right, I'm going to shut down the stream for just a sec, and then I'm going to upload what I have to, if I go to github.com and go to my repos, repositories, and this one here. And so yeah, if you go to here, then you will get a list of the code that the royal we, that I've done over the last day. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do just now, and I will be back in a moment. Yeah, back. Jungle has objects. Yeah, there's some interesting things in here. So yeah, looking through, it's a bit bright. Not kind of the aesthetic I'm looking for. I mean, that would work. Keep coming back to this one. Maybe I just do this one. Because that kind of sort of fits in with what I want to do. Okay, well, I guess. Sheet, characters. What is sheet? The sheet is just that. Um, and characters is just gonna be these guys here. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I mean, I want something that's I can quickly build something. Um, yeah, maybe I shouldn't just worry about it. Maybe I should just have it as I should just figure out a couple of enemies. Maybe that's a better idea. Better use of my time. Needs to do something more than just this. Alright, so if we go to tiled, and then I go to layers, platform, and um, that really gets stuck there. I mean, it's the shape of a. It's starting to get there, and it feels platformy, and it feels shooty. Um, so again, that's gonna stick in there because it's a square and it's like a capsule. Oh, my eye. That's okay. These we can. I keep saying that's okay, but it's fine. It's a game jam game. It's not meant to be um, sitting around there for ages. Okay, so I have that's the game controller and the game map block. So I wonder if I can um, map blocks. See, I can't have. Hmm. Can't have. You just need to do a save a scene. Okay, save scene as scenes testing camera scroll, and this is going to be tile map example. And I'm going to get rid of block, I'm going to get rid of guy, and I'm going to create a 2D object which is going to be a tile map. And the tile map, um, let's go with this one here. Where are we? Show in folder. Open with Photoshop. And this is 16 by 16. Okay, so these are all 16 by 16 tiles. That's good. All right. So if I grab that there, and here, level map, and we'll call this tile maps. Let's call it tile maps, and then we'll create a folder here called forest, and we'll drag that sheet into forest. Okay, and we'll change that to multiple, and we'll say 16, and point, and apply, and we'll go into sprite editor, slice, and cell size, cell size, 16 by 16, and then we're going to go slice. So that slices everything up, which is good. And then we'll click on apply. Okay, and I need to go into project settings, quality, and I want to turn off anti-aliasing because I don't want it's got to be pixel perfect. So anti-aliasing is no good for pixel perfect. And here I need to create a tile palette. So I have this old tile palette here, and I don't know how to get rid of existing tile palettes. So I'm going to call this forest, and it's going to be a rectangle, cell size, automatic, I think, create, art, tile maps, forest, create folder, palette. And again, I've never used this really. So I'm going to drag that into here, and art, tile maps, forest, new folder, and then this is going to be tiles, select folder. So for this one though, the game controller is going to have to be different. Okay. All right, everything's brought in. So let's see if we can get this to work. So I'll go to print. Yeah, this happened last time. I don't know how this works. Let's do this one here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. Sweet. Okay. That's pretty cool. And then what we can do is we can have a big like hill here, and then this will stop the player from going out, and we'll put a sign up in here. But this tile map here is going to be in the platform layer, so we know that it's going to collide with there. Okay, I think that's okay. And then for the game controller, what I want to do is I want to add a let's do void, var game spawn level spawn point equals find object game object Find. Now, you really shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do this at the very start of the game, so we'll have like a fade up kind of idea. Yeah, just make sure we get everything on. We'll have a fade up, but I want to say if equals null, then I want to do all this stuff here. Um, what is spawn point vector 2? Um, else spawn point equals level spawn point dot transform dot position. So if we specify a spawn point, it's not going to do this level load. So we can have the best of both worlds. Our old code will work and the new code will also work. So I'm going to create a object in here. I went to Frankenstein, I'll put it back to Forest. And I'm going to call this spawn point. Spawn point. And I'm going to find out where it is. Um, uh, is there. So I'm going to make the spawn point here. Okay, so hopefully, oh, well, tile map. Do I need to add a collision to it? Mask interaction, no. Sort order. Um, Tile map collider. Will that be it? Because I want to interact with these tiles. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. And it works exactly the same way. The difference is that, yeah, cool. Sweet. Okay, so we need to have, so if I go back to my tile map and my brush, and then I do, I think if I hold down the shift key that deletes. There we go. So I want it to have this one up here and this one down here like that, so that it looks like there's more of a forest behind them. There we go. Awesome. All right, so now it's just kind of drawing things. So where did that? Where did I get that from? I think I got it from right about here. Yeah, here we go. Platformer. So I'm gonna borrow some designs from here. All right. And right, so he's got kind of orangey stuff there and this water here. Now the water is obviously going to kill you, and we want other things that you can interact with, and yeah, we want kind of enemies and stuff in there. Cool. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll stop the stream, have a play around with this now that I know that this is going to work. Um, and this is so much easier than doing it the way I was doing it, which is going into TileEd. As good an editor as that is, um, if I can do everything inside Unity, that would be much better. So I'm gonna have a play with it around with that, and oops, sorry, and I will get back to you in the next video. So um, thank you for watching, and oops, need to move that up there. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye, guys. Bye.